gonna try this one more time. Hi. I got some really good news today. Made me really happy because it is a possible rent reduction, which is a big deal. I am in the midst of a 2-year lease on my current apartment, the one that I'm in right now, that you can't really see. I guess you just see like the wall and the couch and like the comic bus poster, maybe. And anyway, I mean, when I originally went to look at this place, I knew that the rent was higher than I could probably consistently afford. But I was so tired of being in the shithole that I was in that I needed to make it a change. I mean, I was looking for an apartment for like 4 months before I found this. I was ready to I want to say I was ready to move into anything, but I was not ready to do that. I turned down lots of shitty places. So yes, when I saw this, I was excited, and I was able to negotiate the rent down a little bit, which not everybody knows that you can do. You can negotiate your rent. You can even negotiate your security deposit, apparently. I haven't tried that. So they were a little bit receptive. They lowered the rent when I asked for a better price. And I got it. But unfortunately, even with, not paying the full amount that they wanted, it's still too much for me. I work a couple of different jobs, but the one that actually pays me regularly, what was I gonna say about my job? They don't pay me, there we go. They don't really pay me enough, for me to do anything. To be honest, I don't make enough money for basics. So, I also busk. I also do a bunch of other things, screen print, and I hope that kind of covers things, and it almost does. But I knew that I was going to have to do something soon, especially if I want to sign a new lease next year, which I really like the space. I'd like to stay here. So there were a couple of options, of course. I mean, there was the big option, the one that most people do, which is they pick up another job or they ask for full-time status at their job currently. I was thinking about getting another part-time job. I always still kind of am. And then, of course, I could have gone to full-time at my current job, which would only be 10 more hours a week. But they just really don't like me that much. And I don't think they'd want that. And working there 40 hours would be really, really difficult for me, mentally, basically. I have to do other things. And once you make that jump, they want all of you. They already want all of me. They're not getting it because I'm part-time. But once you make that jump, it's hard to do things. It would be hard for me to tour at certain times of the year, that kind of stuff. And I'm not willing to give up the things that I care about for 10 more hours a week, despite the fact that would help me out a lot. Financially, it wouldn't help anything else out. It would destroy other things. But financially, it would help me out. So I came up with an idea. I'm a good tenant. I pay my rent on time, regardless of, how much I've made that month. They always get my rent by the 1st. And I'm quiet. Nobody has complaints out against me. Things like that. So I figured maybe they could use some help. Maybe if I asked the right things and I did the right stuff, maybe they would reduce my rent. So I sent a letter to my landlord's assistant and my landlord, asking if they wanted me to do the maintenance on the building, vacuum hallways, take in and out the trash cans, stuff like that, spackle the hole in the wall, clean apartments, basic stuff that isn't being done very well. But then I also thought, with the amount of tenants moving out right now, and they need someone to show the apartments. And I know that they go through a real estate agency to do that. That's who showed me the apartment. That's who showed the last person who moved in the apartment. And I know about how much these people charge per apartment that they show. So I asked if they just wanted me to do it. And also, he's got a bunch of other buildings. And I figured it couldn't hurt to just ask for a rent reduction in exchange for services that I'm more than happy to do. I unfortunately told a couple of people who didn't think much of the idea and got kind of down on me for it, for even trying, which made me feel like shit. That's something I want to say too, like, you gotta fucking support your friends. I mean, I wasn't doing anything crazy. The worst I was gonna get from my landlord was no fucking way. And I wasn't even gonna get that because I felt like I was gonna see him. I was just gonna get like, we have someone to do that via email. It would have just pissed me off and I would have been upset, but that would have been it. It's not like I was putting my life in danger and it was important that somebody tell me not to do it. It was me trying to better my situation in a creative way. There's no reason that you should stop someone that you care about from doing that, unless you really don't care about them. So that kind of upset me, and I figured I really need to do this now. And so I talked to my landlord's assistant today, and they are totally on board with me showing apartments. They don't want me to do maintenance because that would cost extra money, because I don't think anybody's doing it right now, but they want me to show apartments. And considering how many people are leaving my building right now, I'm pretty excited. Unfortunately, I like them a lot, and I don't want them to leave, but it's going to help me a lot. And hopefully I can show apartments in their other buildings too for them. I guess what I want to say, I hope this isn't boring. It feels boring. What I wanted to say is there's always really interesting and creative ways that you can better your situation. If you have a good idea, try to implement it. I'm sorry, I cannot talk. Because it might work out. Or it might not, and then you'll feel really shitty, but at least you gave it a shot. So I'm pretty excited. This is really, really positive, and now hopefully they won't want me to leave, so they won't try to raise my rent next year. Because I'm doing them a service for much less than it would cost them for a real estate agent. Probably half or a third of what it would cost them. So they're ecstatic, and I'm just probably as ecstatic. So yeah. All right. Have a good night, guys.